Hello children, welcome to our class. Now the continuation of units and measurements. In that we are going to learn about measurement of mass. See, the mass is a basic property of matter. See, it does not depend on the temperature, a pressure, a location of the object in space. So the SI unit of mass is what? We all know that kilogram, right? See, the prototype of the international standard kilogram supplied by the International Bureau of Weights and Measures are available in many other laboratories of different countries. In India, this is available at the National Physical Laboratory NPL, New Delhi. See, while dealing with atoms and molecules, the kilogram is an inconvenient unit. In this case, there is an important standard unit of mass which is called the Unified Atomic Mass Unit U, which has been established for expressing the mass of atoms as. That means one unified atomic mass unit, that is equal to 1 U. See, one unified mass unit is equal to 1/12 of the mass of an atom. Of carbon 12, the isotope C612, including the mass of electrons, right? See, so 1 U which is equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 12 kilogram, right? So the mass of commonly available objects that can be determined by a common balance, like we are using that in the grocery shops, like that. See, the large masses of in universe, we can say like planets, stars, based on Newton's law of gravitations, that can be measured by using gravitation method. And we can say the small units, what we say, that is, we can call it as a inertial masses. So how can we can see through the examples of the inertial masses and the gravitational mass. See, before we are going to know about the inertial and the gravitational masses, mass and the weight differences, we know that very well. See, the mass, I'll just recall it, the mass of the body is the quantity of matter which contain in it, right? The basic property of matter. And we know that what we said, that is, it does not depend on the temperature, pressure, location and all we said. And weight, which is nothing but weight of the body, is a force with which a body is pulled towards the center of the earth, and it is equal to the product of the mass of the body and acceleration due to gravity. So both we have to take, and W, which is equal to mg, we can call it as, right? So this is the difference you must know about. And what we said, that's inertial and the gravitational masses. See, the mass of a body which determine its inertia in translatory motion, which is called inertial mass. Say it is defined by the Newton's second law of motion, and it is equal to the ratio of external force applied on the body. That is nothing but F is equal to ma. So that is only, they said, the m which is equal to F by a from Newton's second law. So what is gravitational mass? Gravitational mass, which is nothing but the mass of the body which determines the gravitational pull acting upon it due to the earth, is called gravitational mass. So it is also defined by the Newton's law of gravitation, and according to that law, the force is the force of gravitation of the earth on a body of mass m is given by, we have seen in that fundamental forces, that F which is equal to g mm by r square, or m, we want that mass value m from that, which is equal to F r squared by gm. Got it? So some examples of inertial and the gravitational mass we can see. How can we measure the inertial mass? The inertial mass of the body is measured usually with the help of the device. We can call it as an inertial balance, which you are seeing in that diagram. See, how it consists of a long strip of metal. Actually, the one end of the strip is clamped to a table. The other end of the strip carries a pan in which body whose inertial mass is to be measured, is kept, right? So when the stick is vibrate horizontally, its inertia comes into play and not the force of gravity of the earth, right? So it is found that the period of vibration, which is directly proportional to the square root of the inertial mass. So from that we can say T, which is directly proportional to the square of mass, or we can say T square directly proportional to M. Let M1 and M2 be the inertial masses of two objects, and T1 and T2 be their corresponding periods of vibrations. Then what it will be, by applying that, M2 by M1, which is equal to T2 square by T1 square, or we can say M2, which is equal to M1 into T2 square by T1 square. So if the M1 is the standard mass, means the unknown mass M2 value can be determined by this equation, that means the formula, right? So the next we can see the gravitational mass by measuring using balance, right? See, common balance. So next we can see this, the gravitational mass by a spring balance. So in a spring balance, the gravitational force on a body, it stretches the spring, and we can measure the elongation of the spring. The elongation which depends on gravitational force, which in turns is proportional to the gravitational mass of the body, right? See, thus the elongation of the spring gives a measure of the gravitational mass. For this, we first calibrate the spring balance by using the standard masses and measuring the elongation. So this calibration of spring balance and the mass measured to be done at the same place, because the value of the G varies from place to place, right? So by this way we can calculate the gravitational mass with the help of the spring balance, right?